What's up everybody and welcome to another episode of 5 Cool Mods. This is a series where I take 5 of the coolest mods that came out this week and show them to you. This is another console edition, meaning all the mods in this video are going to be for consoles. They'll also be for PC. This week we do have a number of quite interesting mods, a lot of them rips from other games, and even one that could be the first proper LEWD mod on Xbox One. I also want to encourage you guys to consider subscribing if you enjoy. I really would love to hit 40,000 subscribers by the end of this month, and I think we could do it, but with that, let's get right into it. So the first mod I do want to show you guys is the Jango Fett armor. So don't get your hopes up, this definitely isn't as good as you'd hope, but it's still a pretty cool mod. Basically, the armor is ripped directly from Star Wars Republic Commando, so if you're going to download this mod, I'd recommend doing it now because you might not see it in a few weeks. And although it looks pretty good, there are a few glitches here and there, like the leg, it just kind of sticks out like that, and then when you run around, it just looks really messed up. There's a lot of clipping and all kinds of weird stuff going on with this armor, although if you don't really pay attention to that and you play primarily in first person, it's still a pretty cool armor to have. When conversing with NPCs, a lot of the glitchiness goes away, so you'll be relatively okay, and in combat, it's honestly just kind of entertaining to play as Jango Fett with your little glitchy leg there. I hope in the future this armor is updated to remove some of these glitches, and then it'd be a really cool armor, and maybe even adding in like one of the blasters from the game as well. I would really love to see that. So the next mod I did want to show you guys is the G3 Assault Rifle. So this adds in the famous G3 Assault Rifle into the game. It is pretty well balanced, which is the main reason I do like this mod. It does look pretty nice, although it's kind of weird. In third person, the hand is pretty much on top of the gun perfectly. There's no clipping whatsoever, but when you go into first person, you'll actually notice that it does kind of float off of it. So it's a little bit weird. I'm not really sure how that happened, but I'd love to see that fixed in the future, and then this would be pretty much the perfect mod. There's only one barrel and not a ton of attachment options, but there are scopes, magazines, and some other basic modifications, so it's not too big of a deal. I'd love to see that area expanded upon in the future, but for the time being, for what this gun is, a balanced assault rifle mod, I think it works pretty well, and definitely one you should add to your game. Next up is the Playable Children mod. So this one's actually pretty interesting. It allows you to basically convert your character into a regular human child or a ghoul child. You do this by going over to the utility workbench and you could just craft something there. You can also do this if you're starting a new game. Let's say you just want to play the whole game as a child. That is an option as well when you're creating your character. It is pretty entertaining walking around as a child. Playing in third person, you don't really realize it while you're running around because it's all relative. But as soon as you start encountering some objects that you're used to being way taller than and you're kind of eye level with, it's a little bit entertaining. By far my favorite part about this mod though is that it works with power armor. So when you get in power armor, you'll actually shrink it and it'll be accustomed to your size and you're basically in a very small piece of power armor. I do only show you a boy child, but this mod is also compatible with girls, so you can be a girl child as well if that's what you would like. There's a little bit of clipping with the body to the head, but I do really like that it actually keeps your normal head, especially when it ghoulifies it. I think that looks really cool. And most of the time when you put on any piece of clothing or armor, the clipping will pretty much go away. I'm really excited to see some people start doing full playthroughs with this mod, but all around it's a pretty entertaining one to check out. So this mod's just called Terminator, not Terminator armor or Terminator character, nope, just Terminator. So Terminator, what this mod allows you to do is change yourself into the Terminator T800 model. As soon as you load up the game, it'll be in your inventory and then you can equip it and basically, well, there you are a T800 now. The model does look really good. I'm pretty sure this is coming from another mod that came out a while ago that allowed you to have T800s as synths. It was basically just a replacer, and I have a feeling this is ripped from that mod, which is probably ripped from a game or maybe custom modeled, I don't know. Nonetheless, the model does look really good. The textures do flow well. I do like the mod author's decision to remove the Pip-Boy in third person, but as soon as you go back into first person, you can see the Pip-Boy again. I just think that's a nice little touch, and I do like the way that functions. It does have some really good resistances, which is pretty nice. Like this functions as a practical armor. You can't really put armors on over this since it's a full body armor, but what you can do is take down synths if you'd like. The armor does work really well that way, as well as maybe killing some Brotherhood of Steel if they rub you the wrong way. So finally, the basically nude mod for Xbox One, which, I don't know, I feel like this was a long time coming. Basically, what this mod does is a number of things. It actually is a compilation almost of a number of mods on PC that the mod author was like, hey, you could use my assets whenever. So someone combined those three into what we have here. It is basically probably the closest thing to a LEWD mod or even a nude mod on Xbox One. Bethesda typically removes mods like this, but this one's been out for 4 days now, so I think it's here to stay, which is good. It's a relatively simple little mod. Again, it makes your skin a little bit clearer and some of the bump maps a little bit different. And then of course adding in this underwear texture, and it basically will be there when you take off all your clothes. I also do want to reinforce the point that although the mod author did use other people's mods, he used them with permission almost, because all the other mod authors, I checked all of them, were like, hey, you could just use my mod freely. So fortunately he did do that. Really happy with how this mod came out though. I think it does look really nice, and for those console users just looking to get a little LEWD mod here and there, this is for you.